Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Miroku Association USA Los Angeles Jore Center. On behalf of all the members, we would like to thank you for your participation in our 2022 Risshun service, combined with the Hatsuike flower arranging ceremony. Today, we gather to express our gratitude to God and meishu-sama for the protection, help, and countless blessings we have received this past month, and to ask permission to serve the divine plan throughout this coming month. We will begin our service today with the Hatsuike ceremony. Hatsuike, or the first flower of the year, is offered to God solemnly to express our gratitude for the great Mother Nature. Always generous, the great nature is the very manifestation of truth, providing our subsistence, and with its beauty and perfection, awakening in each of us the consciousness of communion with God. The first flower of the year promotes the purification and elevation of human feelings for the new journey that is about to begin. Within it, we impregnate our wishes that humanity will be blessed with a year of full health, prosperity, and peace. This flower represents our firm intention to strive throughout the new year to make other people happy, generating great gratitude and joy. As meishu-sama teaches, gratitude gives birth to gratitude, and ingratitude creates more ingratitude. This is because gratitude reaches God, while ingratitude reaches dark forces. Therein lies the reason why those who are always grateful naturally enjoy happiness and good fortune, while those who are ungrateful and constantly complain are unhappy and become more and more unfortunate. As one prominent spiritual leader in Japan wrote, "If you rejoice, joyous things will come to you." We now invite Ikebana Sengetsu's senior instructor, Valeria Brinkers, assisted by instructor Jana Nagazi, to represent all of us through the offering of flowers to the Supreme God during this Hatsuike ceremony. We will now have the presentation of offerings to God. Please pray along silently as we have the opening prayer to God.
Great God of light, to whom this sacred divine scroll and altar have been dedicated, with hearts filled with gratitude, we have gathered before your altar at the Miroku Association to express our gratitude for the protection, help, and countless blessings we have received this past month, and to ask permission to serve the divine plan for this coming month. We are all Risshun, which signifies the beginning of the spring, the time when your divine plan takes a bold and develop our love for others, working together to serve you and humanity, and to realize our beloved meishu-sama's vision of paradise on earth. Help us through your love to keep our thoughts positive and our deeds constructive, that we may live in health, peace, and prosperity. Please allow all who visit here in person and those who are attending our online services to grow in spiritual awareness Help each one to come to a deeper understanding of the individual mission to become ever more effective instruments to inspire others and guide them to happiness. Great God of light, please accept our deepest gratitude, strengthening and guiding us in our service to you and to humanity.
Pine Branch Offerings. Jorei Centerhead, Reverend Rodrigo Nagazi. Representing all participants, Reverend Assumpta Nagazi, please stand and join in the bows and claps. Please remain standing for the Amatsu Narita prayer, the prayer of heaven, followed by the prayer for paradise on earth.
Taka'ama ni kamuzumarimasu. Kamurogi kamurogi no mikoto mochite. Tsureni oya kamuizanagi no mikoto. Tsurushi no himuka no tachihana no. Odo no ahagi harani. Misogi harai tamo toki ni narimaseru. Arai dono kami tachi. Moro moro no magakoto tsumi kegareo. Arai tamae kiyome tamae tomosu koto no yoshio. Amatsu kami kunitsu kami aoi orosu no kami tachi tomoni. Ame no fuji koma no mimi furitatete. Hikoshime seto kashikomi kashikomi monosu. Miroku o mikami. Mamori tamae saki hae tamae. Miroku o mikami. Mamori tamae saki hae tamae. Oshie mi oya nushi no kami. Mamori tamae saki hae tamae. Oshie mi oya nushi no kami. Amori tamae saki hae tamae. Om Nagara Tamachi Haemase. Ram Nagara Tamachi Haemase. In deep reverence, we acknowledge the fact that the great God of light has appeared and will continue to appear on earth in many different manifestations in order to fulfill his plan of establishing paradise on earth. God will dispel all of the earth's spiritual clouds, will cleanse all the sins and impurities from both the spiritual and the physical realms, and will bring about the ideal world of paradise on earth, one filled with light, everlasting joy and happiness everywhere, a world of humanity and every living creature has longed for throughout the ages. In this paradise there will be perfect weather all year round, with a gentle breeze blowing every fifth day, and rain falling every 10th day, without storms of any kind. Because of God's boundless love, all evil spirits and misguided ones will realize their mistakes and submit themselves to divine rule. All bad practices will cease, and all wrong laws will be corrected, because negative forces will be awakened to truth and released from their attachment and undue desires. All force of light will be able to fulfill their missions unhampered. Even nature itself, its mountains, rivers, and foliage, will be influenced by the love of God. All life, birds, animals, fish, and insects will have their rightful places and will enjoy their individual lives. Such is the state of true ideal world. In the sky overhead, birds of heaven will be seen flying, and auspicious clouds will float along, portending happy events. On earth, countless beautiful flowers will fill the air with their lovely fragrance. Holy sanctuaries of the God of light in the sacred grounds will be soaring to the sky, and countless magnificent Miroku centers and stately homes of light will fill all the towns on earth with their golden tile roofs glittering in the sun. This is truly the picture of paradise on earth. Everyone will have bountiful harvests, and their storehouses will be full of grains. Fish are caught in abundance. Happy voices will be heard everywhere, and everyone will enjoy life to the fullest. Boundaries between countries will disappear. Enmities between races and all conflicts will vanish like bad dreams. All people on earth will become one under the rule of the great God of light. All will be embraced in God's loving arms. In our daily work and livelihood, we will be guided by God's intelligence and wisdom. We will all enjoy prosperity by doing good deeds, helping others, and accumulating virtue. Without needing to rely on medicine, we will be blessed with health and longevity. O God, please bless us with your great love and boundless benevolence, and help us to live in accordance with your will. We pray from our innermost hearts that paradise on earth may be a reality. Great God of light, protect us and bless us with supreme happiness. Our founding spiritual father, meishu-sama, protect us and bless us with supreme happiness. in accordance with your will, radiate our souls with your divine light.
Please join us for the Risshun poem found in your program.
The white plums are in full bloom. Before all the other trees, the air is scented with their blossoms, their fragrance reaching foreign lands. Quietly and totally unnoticed by anyone, God's profound plan has been unfolding already. Strive to become the kind of person who wishes for the happiness of others always, because God loves such a person best.
Please be seated. We will now receive Joreh. Thank you, God. Let us listen to meishu-sama's teaching entitled Significance of Risshun. Significance of Risshun, meishu-sama. I have told you about the meaning of Risshun every year for some time. Perhaps it is not necessary to speak of it again. However, this is an exceedingly important time for God's plan, and its importance becomes greater each year. I cannot go into this too deeply, but all members will notice the fact that purification becomes more severe, stronger at this time. This happens both on Risshun and on June 15th, which are the two big turning points of the year. By this, I mean that the changes become more noticeable at these turning points. However, there is a difference between the way the spiritual vibration changes in February and the way it changes in June. The change that comes with the turning point in February is that God's action takes a new, major direction. The change in June is different from that, for it is then that the spiritual realm becomes brighter, that Katso, the spirit of fire, increases. I may say that the turning in February is God's time of reckoning, the time when we pay off our spiritual debts, the sins and clouds accumulated during the age of night. Whereas the 15th of June is the time when the spiritual realm in general becomes brighter, and this reflects on our lives. February 5th, 1952. We will now have a greeting from Reverend Rodrigo Nagasi.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Welcome. Thank you very much. Welcome to our Risshun service and Hatsuike celebration. How are you feeling today? Okay? Feeling as a winner or no? Rams, go Rams! Big. That was, thank you very much. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure to be here, having this permission to serve God and meishu-sama through everyday activities and also through services. Even if you weren't able to be here, I really appreciate your effort to be online, watching us from home, and I hope you all are doing okay in your family as well. Did you like? It was beautiful, right? I'd like to thank Professor Valeria, Janaina, Ana Maria, Leonard for all the effort and preparation. Was beautiful, right? Did you like it? Yes. For me, it was like leaving paradise for 5 minutes, for 10 minutes, right? Uplifting sentiment, just so beautiful, right? And Meishu-sama wrote many teachings about paradise on earth. And he said in one of them that paradise may be called a world of art, truly finding painting, sculpture, literature, music, and other forms of art and entertainment will flourish in the daylight age. Not only these, but all phases of life, of living, should be equally artistic, for art is an essential part of life. Art is an essential part of life. So this week, I ask you, how many times you would touch something in art? Can be sculpture, paintings, flowers, and something that we can have contact with art. We should think always about that to incorporate art every day in our lives, right? And Meishu-sama had a very special place in his heart. Since his childhood, he has been involved into art, and he brought to our movement many of his sentiments toward art. So today I would like to invite Professor Valeria to share a little bit more about Meishu-sama's heart and about Meishu-sama's sentiment in regarding art. Please.
Happy Valentine's. Thank you, Sensei. So, yesterday, Reverend Nagase, he asked me to share a little bit with you about something beautiful about Meishu-sama's flowers. And then he told me to be very fast, but had to be beautiful. So when I went home, I was thinking, and I would like to share with you one beautiful poem that Meishu-sama wrote, and my favorite ikebana of Meishu-sama. And I would like to share with you what I learned about this poem and this. I believe you have the poem, right? Can you please read with me? Thank you. A large camellia was blooming in my garden. I cut it, arranged it, and put it in my bowl. What joy I felt in living. So one thing that I learned when you practice Ikebana, especially Meishu-sama style, is that you use your eyes to exercise and practice appreciation, in your hands to create a beautiful arrangement, right? So if you observe his poem, it's like he's giving you 3 steps how to make a beautiful piece of art using nature, right? He says, step 1, when he says, a large camellia was blooming in my garden. What that means, he observed, he used his eyes, right, to appreciate nature. The second step, he cut it. And the third step, he arranged it. And the result of this quick arrangement he made is joy, right? Then, to me, this is what he wants to teach me when I see that home and that ikebana. To make a beautiful ikebana, you don't need to have a lot of flowers. It's beautiful to be able to make a arrangement like this. But you also can have a lot of joy with one flower. So our goal here in Los Angeles, Sangetsu, that we would like to ask the members to practice at least once a week, if you can follow those 3 steps. You don't need a lot of money, you don't need a beautiful vase, you can use a cup, but the mental attitude, we can follow meishu-sama's steps, right? So, eyes to appreciate nature, hands to create beauty, and you need just a single flower to do that, okay? There's one more thing I would like to share with you. We have 2 events coming up. It's all about beauty. So the first one, we are very blessed that we found this place, Sherman Library and Gardens. It's located at the Corona del Mar. I think it's around 40 minutes from here, 30 to 40 minutes. It's a beautiful place. And we are going to make a Sangetsu exhibition there. We're going to have around 35 to 45 arrangements there. It's March 5th and 6th, and they open from 10 to 4. It's going to be very beautiful. We are very excited to be able to introduce Mokito Kada and his flower to the communities there. And I think I put some pictures to show you. It's not a big botanical garden, it's small, but it's very, very beautiful. And please, we are inviting you if you can come and enjoy. It's going to be a day of beauty, okay? I love this orchid. We went to visit and we took that picture. And what got my attention with this place is the employees. They're very happy. They love what they do. And I think this is a very similar motto, what meishu-sama is thinking about nature. Okay? So the second one, it's a big event. It's Carlsbad Flower Fields, March 26 and 27. This event, this place opens 2 months a year only. It's very beautiful. And they have 650,000 people visiting in these 2 months. So this lady that coordinates the events, she contacted me and asked if we could make an exhibition. And we are. And it would be nice if you can come and enjoy. I put some pictures there. It is very beautiful. Has a lot of things to do. A lot of activities. They do yoga. They do all kinds of stuff. It has music. And we were going to make around 70 arrangements. It's going to be a big event. And they're going to be able to make mini events too. So, we're expecting a lot of people those 2 days, and we're very excited, right, Sensei? Yes. So please, if you'd like to help us, there's several ways. You can pray, you can buy the raffle. We are raffling 10 Ikebana classes. We have the tickets here, and if you'd like to help us, please contact Ms. Nagazi or Jana or myself. Okay? Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank Thank you very much. Very exciting activities. Please join us in the preparation 70 arrangements. Thank you. I was trying to, where is my word? So please, let's participate. It's a wonderful. So sometimes we hear teachings, we are constantly trying our best to grow. And it's sometimes we don't see what should I do? How can I start? Right? How can I change? How can I deserve something better? And meishu-sama said that nature brought everything that we need, observing it and even appreciating it. So today's Risshun, and Risshun is about a new cycle. It's a transition, right? That every year, meishu-sama says it happens in February 4th. And as the teaching that we just heard says, it comes from February through June 15th, right? Both are very important transitional period in our lives. But Risshun is the day, is the time of the year that we start purifying more and more, and then we'll be able to receive in June 15 Paradise on Earth Day, right? So we should take advantage of it, right? Meishu-sama describes, as I said, Paradise on Earth as a world of art, and he says it's a world where truth, virtue, and beauty. I have shared before with you, but in Japan, they used to share with us explanation of Risshun that I would like to share with you. It says, according to the lunar calendar, the winter season ends with Setsubun, the close of winter, and Risshun, the beginning of spring, then sets in. This is a starting point of several events of the year. Risshun, the time when the atmosphere of spring begins to fill the air. With this season as the turning point, all things in nature begin to change. So does man's way of life. Since ancient days in Japan, various days of the year have been established as special occasions and observed annually. And as these have been noted by succeeding generations, many traditions and customs have been introduced and practiced regularly. So of course, any change in the spiritual realm influence our lives, right? And our way of living. So we need to always make adjustments every year, something different, right? That we can really feel that we are growing. Professor Valera just gave us a task, right? Maybe even a challenge every week to do a flower arrangement, to be in contact with art, and see what happens. Do it for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, every week. Put in your living room, your office space, and anywhere, and see what happens. See the reaction of your family members, right? Adjust things, as she said. We don't need a days or expensive things. We just can have one flower and arrange that with meishu-sama's heart, and we will see something happen, right? And continues, from the spiritual viewpoint, according to the divine revelation meishu-sama received, Risshun was the time when the great God of light began to release his direct light. Since then, each year on this day, his divine light has increased in power and radiance, in intensity. This date is also the Divine Light Program's starting point for all of its activities throughout the next 12 months. It is this day when the release of the divine power is accelerated and the divine plan is more conspicuously advanced toward the final goal, paradise on earth. Each year, we members of the Jurei movement recognize this significant day of Risshun as the beginning day of our work for the Divine Light program for the next 12 years. We give thanks to God and meishu-sama for their love and blessings. Make a new pledge for still greater service and efforts, and ask for continued help, guidance, and blessings. In this connection, we would like you to know that as we look back into our church's history, we find that various important events which marked turning points in the Divine Light program took place at the time of Risshun. It was then that Meishu-sama entered his spiritual life, that the first publication of the important teachings of our church was issued, that the setting up of a new system of the church organization was made, that the construction of all the main buildings of our church, including the holy sanctuaries, was started, and so much more. So we see that it's a very important point in our lives, especially spiritually, right? So you will notice many changes in your lives, and we can adjust every day something else. Just try to incorporate something else, right? I heard a very important guidance recently about gratitude, and we hear every day about gratitude, right? And one point that we should always work is how we manifest our gratitude. Just to say that I'm grateful, it's beautiful, but how we manifest it, right? The guidance was gratitude. The sentiment of gratitude is the only sentiment, only feeling that reaches God. Besides that, no other feelings reach directly God. Only gratitude, right? We might say, love. Love also reaches God. Depends. Sometimes love relationship can destroy families, can destroy the person. Depends on the object of that person. Right? We might say, well, but family, sentiment of love toward families depends as well. Any other goodness, sometimes maybe someone says, some people they think they're doing something good, but actually they're not. So for the person, it might be good. For the whole community, it might not be good. So it depends on a lot of things. But gratitude, regardless how you feel, how much you feel, it always reaches God. So I think that gratitude is something that we can always work on in ourselves, right? Sometimes it's hard when you're going through a situation, right? Purifications, as we call, that we don't understand. And as humans, thinking beings, right? We want to first understand. I need to understand. So then I will be grateful for it. But sometimes the process is the opposite. Just to be grateful for anything, right? As Miroku says, the joy of feeling alive, just to arrange a flower. We have so many opportunities in our daily lives to be grateful for. And meishu-sama brought us simple practices. As the flower I said, even Jure is a very simple practice. I shared the other day in the morning prayer that we read one teaching of Jure, and someone says, any problem, any situation in life, in our lives, happen because of the accumulation of thoughts. Very simple. Then he says, the simplest and surest way to eliminate those clouds is through Jure. Very simple. It's a straightforward teaching. But then, when we were going through anything, what's going on? What should I do? How can I get out of this situation? Sometimes it's so simple that we don't even believe that it's possible through Jure to change our lives through a simple practice. And then we try to find a complicated solution and we complicate even more our lives. What if we could really simply receive your channel Jure and change that situation in our But we need many things because it's not just spiritual. It is my uh, mind, my body. So I need 10 therapists, right? I need 100 books. It is good. I read, I love reading, I love finding new things. But as we have spiritual affinity with meishu-sama, why not? To try even more. Survey and flowers and the says about nature farming. Let's see what happens. If every year the sun says the intensity of God's light increases, so Juray power will be even greater than it was in February 3rd. So we can try again. Talk about practice. I don't want to extend too much, but we have a very special practice today. We can live here already practicing, and the Kibana instructors will do a workshop right after the end of this service. We will be streaming live. If you're at home, you want to participate, I think we have in our WhatsApp group. If you didn't print out the display that they will explain, then you can do later. Just watch the end of the service. Then a couple of minutes they will prepare here and they will do a very beautiful workshop with us led by instructor Jenna and Nina. Like us. So again, my wife, thank you very much. God bless you all.
This concludes today's service. Thank you for your attendance and your continued service. Be safe, and may God and meishu-sama bless you all.